Well, I
Hey,
do that.
Chris, welcome to a brand new episode of the NOLAnerds.
Yeah, we're back again. We were off a week because of Saki's birthday. All right, calm down, Saki. Your birthday's over.
Birthdays are never over.
What have you been up to, buddy?
Oh, you know, I beat 3 games this week.
Wow, how very productive of you.
3 separate games in 1 week. I think that might be one of the best records I've had. And they weren't one of them was a very short game, but the other 2 were fairly meaty, 13 to 16 hours each.
What'd you beat? Tell the kids.
Tell the kids. Well, first, I'm Matthew.
I'm Chris.
Are you Chris?
I'm Chris. Sorry. I have a plate of delicious French fried potatoes in front of me.
Ugh, you would. God, you're disgusting. You're a disgrace. Chris.
Right, sorry, tell me about your games. I'm sorry.
Well, first, before we jump into that, because video game news can delve into the next group of our countdown.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, what is the comic book news this week?
Well, the biggest news of the week is we have our first official photos from Captain Marvel.
Yes, we do.
We have her in her suit. We have her in her 90s grunge phase. We have some Skrulls.
Did you like that she was kind of part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy?
I thought that was kind of neat. We also have Monica Rambeau floating around, or her mom, Maria Rambeau.
Yeah. And someone mentioned that one of the original Guardians from the comic is part of her group. Corvar or something?
I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything about the original Guardians.
Honestly, me either.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Guardians of the Galaxy begin and end with the movie team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty neat. The photos look really, really good.
Now, one thing that was brought to my attention is that when Entertainment Weekly does a cover photo reveal like this, it's usually followed by a trailer within a week or 2. So we should be expecting the first Captain Marvel trailer soon. There we go. Good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited. You know, Captain Marvel could be a real. I kind of want to say a shot in the arm, like a kind of revitalization the way Guardians was when it came out to the Marvel universe.
It will be, after a bajillion years, the first Marvel female-led movie. So
it'll be the only one so far.
That's why I said first.
Yeah.
That implies only.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chris.
Shut up. I don't know how interested you are, but we have our first images of the Doom Patrol, the live-action Doom Patrol.
You know what? I hope it's good. One, because it's always fun for me when off-ball, out-of-nowhere properties blow up big on TV and stuff. Like Legends of Tomorrow, you know? Or any of the Defenders films on Netflix or movies on Netflix. So I hope it's good. I might personally not care about Doom Patrol, but maybe this will be the thing that makes me. Yeah,
I'm kind of more interested, not so much in the Doom Patrol, which I don't really care for, but the people they've got in the Doom Patrol. Like they announced Timothy Dalton as the Professor. We have Brendan Fraser as Robot Man. I don't know if you saw the pictures from set today.
Yeah, I did.
He looks pretty good, and Brendan Fraser needs a win.
I agree. Let's give that man a chance.
Let's give him a chance. Dragon Con was this past weekend, but there were no major comic news that I saw.
Okay. By the way, Yu Wong in chat is breaking down the OG Guardians for us.
Oh, excellent.
Also, Kogatsu in chat.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Everyone loves both of them.
Yeah, so we got some interesting stuff coming down the pipeline, comics wise, but it's all stuff we've already talked about. The DC service is launching in a week or so.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it starts on the 15th.
I want to pre-order it because did you hear about all the stuff you get if you pre-order?
No, I didn't.
Not only do you get an extra 3 months right off the bat, and you get entered to win like a bunch of sweepstakes and stuff.
That's pretty neat.
Kind of want to.
Yeah, do it. It's only $7.
Yeah, I know.
And then you can watch Titans and tell us about it.
Fuck Batman.
Yeah. I stand by what I said. It is thematically appropriate and extremely silly.
On both accounts.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of want to sign up for the DC service too. Not so much for the sweepstakes, but they haven't really talked about what the comics component is going to be.
Right. Well, so, we know it's going to be kind of similar to Marvel's digital
Unlimited.
Yeah, but it's going to be weird watching because I know you can pull it up on your phone or your tablet, but the other big draw is you can now read these digital comics and experience them on your big screen TV. So that'll be interesting.
Well, here's my problem with that is I don't know if you remember back when we were watching the animated movies and they would have comics on the disc.
Yeah.
And it was not a great reading experience.
No, it was not. But that was also almost a decade ago.
That's true.
And I have to hope if they're building this service around the idea of watching digital comics, that the process has gotten more refined. I have to hope. Obviously, I could be wrong, but it would be nice to see. Because you know what wouldn't you love to read Infinite Identity Crisis on the big screen?
I mean, maybe something like one of the Alex Ross is one of the really gorgeous art books. Oh man, if you could get the Sorrentino Green Arrow on a big screen, just to kind of pour over every sector,
yes,
that would be delightful.
Good stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Talking, I gotta do one thing real quick for work.
Okay, I guess I will.
What you got, Bill?
I guess I'll talk about what I've been playing. So you finished 3 games you didn't tell us about.
Not yet.
No. So I've been playing We Happy Few. I've been struggling to play We Happy Few.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes down to it's not very good.
That's such a shame because I thought it would have more to it, I guess, considering they say so much of it had changed since we first tried it out. Does that make sense?
Which frankly, it doesn't feel like anything's changed.
That's such a shame.
And you know, it's entirely possible I may be crazy. Your mileage may vary, but I think the story is very strong. But like, it's not very fun. Like, there's wide gaps of nothing that you have to run between. The enemy AI is dumber than a sack of bricks. Like, I ran through the street and then I hid in a trash can and they walked away from me.
You know what's crazy? Is our friend B.
She loves it.
Is like not only in love with the game, but incredibly good. She's almost 100% at the game.
Yeah, we talked on Facebook Messenger about this. She adores it, and I played maybe like 6 hours one day, and I took some time off to do some other stuff. And then when I came back to play it, I was just not feeling it. The flaws in it are very, very big. So I'm hoping that it's going to get like a patch, but I don't know what a patch can even do at this point.
Okay. Hey, Craig.
I played a little bit of Shadow Complex.
Okay.
Mostly because, you know, let's be real, we're in the lull before Spider-Man.
Luckily that lull is almost over.
Yes. I actually bought Spider-Man digitally so I could play it earlier.
Oh.
So I didn't have to wait to go to the store. But you know, we're in this holding period for Spider-Man. So I'm not starting Dragon Quest. I'm not getting Tomb Raider. Everything is on back burner. So I needed something to play that would, you know, take a couple hours but not really kill me. And I had Shadow Complex on Game Pass, and it's good. It's as good as it was when it first launched over a decade ago, but it's still good.
Shadow Pass was one of the first of the new wave of Metroidvanias to really come out and blow people away. It was because now the genre is just lousy with great entries.
Oh yes, we're kind of like a renaissance, especially now.
We really are. But Shadow Complex is one of the first to really capitalize on that.
Yes, and it's funny. You made me play Metroid, Super Metroid, a couple of years ago.
I did,
and I can't help but just see all the Super Metroid they ripped out and put into this game and kind of reskinned.
Yeah, right.
It's unbelievable, but it's still good. And also, I'm still trying to wrap up Detroit Become Human, which is good. It's a mess, but it's good.
I love Detroit Become Human, but you're right. It is a mess, but in a good way for me. Like
I like it more than I thought I would.
But then again, I just love that genre of games.
Can I tell you my biggest issue with Detroit?
Sure.
And it's been long enough, so I don't feel bad spoiling this. Is the twist with Kara and Alice?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I hate it.
Really? Caitlin loved it.
I hate it. I hate it so much because when you learn it and then you retroactively see how everything plays out up to that point, it's like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
What? That's very David Cage. Because remember the big complaint against Heavy Rain was after the reveal of who the actual killer is. And then you go back and replay it and you're like, this game is blatantly lying to you.
Oh yeah, it's bullshit.
But you know what? It's whatever.
You know what? You have to pay the price for a David Cage game, and this is the price. You get dumb bullshit like this.
Well, but that's why she didn't eat any dinner when he hit her.
No, I don't want to talk about this on the air because it's stupid.
You're stupid.
You're stupid. Shut up.
Anyway, Chris.
Anyway, no, yeah, but Spider-Man's on Friday.
Actually,
or Thursday night.
What a great segue to transition between comic news and video game news. Then let's talk Spider-Man because the reviews have come out.
Yes.
And the last time so many people were praising a game on PlayStation was literally a couple months ago for God of War.
Funny how that worked out.
Seeing this game in motion is something else, Chris. Seeing all the Easter eggs, the different characters, the locations, the different suits. Chris, there is a suit that's done like an animated cel-shaded Spider-Man, but the rest of the game is regular.
I saw that on Twitter, and I love it.
It looks so freaking good. Now, some people are complaining because there are no symbiote suits, and the Venom suit is one of the most classic Spider-Man suits.
But who could care?
Yeah, and some people was like, there's no symbiotes in our game, so we didn't want to put the suit. Maybe next time, guys. Because let's be real, we're going to get a second Spider-Man game for the PS5 or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we're not having Venom tie-in DLC.
That's a good point, but whatever. I guess Insomniac had creative freedom.
Yeah, well, and also I'm sure that this game has been polished to a fine diamond, so they're not fucking with anything. Although they are reducing the size of puddles, and that is blatant lying, and they will hear from my attorney.
Actually, you know what's funny about that, Chris?
What?
After days of bullshit with Puddlegate, and it was all spearheaded by a couple people on Xbox Twitter who it's just a thing. If it's not on their system, then obviously it's bad. And they were like, look at these downgrades. Yeah. Then Digital Foundry, the foremost experts on tech, got a review copy, and we're like, actually, guys, it's very much upgraded from the E3 demo. The game is massively improved. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, fanboy's gonna fanboy.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I feel so bad for Insomniac. Like in the week leading up to their launch, they've been slaving away on this for years. Everything's been roses, and then fucking there's this puddle looks small. And that was the whole fucking dialogue for a week.
This puddle is smaller than you showed a couple of years ago.
And if that is just not indicative of the current state of games discourse,
2018 is fucking
where
wild.
trolls are like, this puddle's small, because then you have to get the people defending Spider-Man. They're like, this puddle's actually bigger and you're dumb. Then you have the actual developers chime in and be like, actually, it's just because the time of day changed between screenshots and the puddle's smaller. It's part of the game. And they're like, no, you're lying. How dare you try and hide this downgrade? I'm going to boycott Insomniac. And then the reviews come out, and it all just goes away because who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Oh,
you know what? They could take out all the puddles, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, no. I feel bad for Tomb Raider and Spider-Man. I'm sorry, and Dragon Quest.
I'm sorry, do you mean Dragon Quest 11? Echoes of an Elusive Age?
Yeah, apparently it's super great.
Or do you mean Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of an Elusive Age, the Lost Something Time Collector's Edition version?
You don't even know the name.
Look, they called this like the pre-order vanilla version was called something something, and then they Lost Time, and then the other one was Lost Light. I don't know. Point is, it's awesome. I, unfortunately, am not starting it yet because Spider-Man is in 2 days, and that is just not enough time to devote to a 100-hour RPG to 100% it.
And you'd feel real bad if you started and then Spider-Man, and then you were like, oh,
Here's the thing. Dragon Quest is one of my all-time favorite RPG series, and I damn well know Spider-Man will be a shorter game than Dragon Quest.
It has to be.
Tomb Raider is just literally being put on the back burner. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider, I did not play when it first came out. I am content to wait because Spider-Man, followed by Dragon Quest. I don't care about Destiny 2 Forsaken right now. So that's pretty much September. So I have 3 weeks to knock these games out.
I have seen so many trailers for Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Oh, that's because they got that Activision money, baby.
They did, and I can't believe they killed Nathan Fillion.
Right?
In the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, what better way to get you invested?
It's not. I'm actually uninvested. De-invested.
How do we get de-invested?
Womp womp.
What was that? What'd you say, Saki?
She made a dumb pun.
Say it to my face.
No, I'm busy playing with the puppy.
Coward.
Hey, Chris, why don't you tell everyone what you're going to do when you're visiting us next in like 2 weeks?
Oh, my God. I'm very excited for this because I am going to go visit Matt in a couple of weeks and Saki. And we're going to have
let's be real.
And we're going to have a fun time. And we're going to go see the My Hero Academia movie in theaters.
Yeah, we are. Oh, what
Can I tell you that you put this devil in me?
I did.
You did. No, shut up. You badgered me and badgered me and badgered me to watch this dumb show about anime X-Men, which I saw someone on Facebook posted that, and I'm going to call it that forever.
What?
Anime X-Men?
Yeah, Anime X-Men.
Yeah. And now I'm sitting here at the gym wondering, like, oh, man, I hope Midoriya gets out of this hassle with the Pussycat superhero team.
Oh, have you? What just happened? He got punched in
the dick, and then there was like, I guess he hates heroes.
But why?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Oh, Kogasi's going to go see it also. Nice.
Hey, that's great. We should all talk about it later.
Oh, we will. We'll do a movie review. We haven't done a movie review in ages.
Well, you haven't been in the same spot to do a movie review. So, yeah, we'll do a review at your place.
Sounds good. It'll be fun. But, yeah, so that brief tangent. However,
are you getting the My Hero game, by the way?
Oh, yeah. But it's a lot easier to justify it when you don't have to pay.
Yeah.
When it's given to you, it's like, yeah, I'll play the one. But you know what? It's Chris. It's the Naruto games, but with One Piece. Not One Piece, but with My Hero characters.
All right.
It's not like a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. It's more like the Naruto one, but with really destructible environments. And you know what? It being the first one, the roster is going to be fairly limited, but knowing what's coming up and all the new characters that get introduced, I'm very excited for the inevitable follow-ups. Because if there's one thing I know about anime fighting games, is that there's never just one.
No. And particularly with how Naruto.
With
built
Naruto
up.
done and Dragon Ball done, because I can speak with authority that there is no sequel to Dragon Ball Fighters being worked on right now.
Why would there be? It's great as is.
Like, I personally would have enjoyed a Dragon Ball Fighters, but with an S instead of a Z, and have it be super focused. But, you know, it is what it is.
You just want more Goku in the game.
Who doesn't want more Gokus?
No.
You
Everyone else.
know who, Chris, this another brief tangent and aside. You know who should 100% be a Dokkan card?
Who?
Do you remember in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Evil Yamcha?
Oh, the god Evil Yamcha?
Yeah, and he was the strongest boss in the game.
Oh, yeah, he wrecked me and Beerus.
He should 100% be a card in Dokkan.
Why is he not like an April Fool's card?
I don't want him as an April Fool's card. I want him as a legit, like, LR Yamcha, and it's Evil Yamcha. He transforms. He'll be a transformation card.
Oh, man.
I need that.
Kogasu Class 1B sucks.
Hey, 1B is great. First of all,
1B sucks.
you've got Poison Ivy Girl with her hair.
Sucks.
You've got Mind Control, bruh.
You got Copycat
Yeah,
Kid
you're
who
right.
sucks.
Mind Control guy's general studies, but I believe he got moved up into Hero Course.
Appreciate that Saki just corrected
Actually,
your
yeah,
ass.
that's crazy. But you also got Copycat. You've got. I love the jokes with Steel Guy and Kimamaru with their very similar powers and look.
They're fun.
They are. It's good stuff. Anyway,
We're done talking about. We can't talk about My Hero forever.
Yes, we can.
I mean we could.
We can. We
Anyway, all
shouldn't.
right. So before we launch into our next the honorable mentions of our countdown,
Yeah.
that we've been doing over the past couple weeks, I did promise I would talk to you about the games I beat.
Yes, for the love of
It was
God.
a very productive week.
All right.
First, I beat and Saki and I beat. It was a perfect game to play together. It was a spiritual follow up to Katamari Damacy. It's called Donut County, and you literally play as a hole, and you go around, and as you like make things drop into the hole gets bigger until you basically destroy the entire city. And it's
interesting.
Unimpressed with it.
And it was she said she was wholly unimpressed with it, Chris.
Oh my
Good
God.
try. Anyway,
You ruined this woman.
I have. It was very charming, very quick. It had a very silly storyline where raccoons were behind everything because they wanted everyone's trash.
Makes sense.
It was delightful. So Donut County was the first one. The second game I beat this week was Guacamelee 2.
I really want to play this because I loved Guacamelee 1.
See, if you love Guacamelee 1, you will love part 2 because it's like that kind of sequel that doesn't feel like much has changed until you look back on it and realize that all the little things that they did add and tweak and change. And the storyline is charming AF, Chris. It is just hilarious because it deals with the Mexiverse. So you're going through all these different timelines, and there's so many joke timelines that are homages to other things. Like, my favorite is the high score timeline, where it's literally just the bonus stage from Street Fighter where you have to beat up the car. And you keep running into this one guy who tells you how proud he is that he just bought his brand new car. And then the car, like, it pans on the car, it pans on one, and then it does the versus screen. And then you have to beat up the car all while the guy is, like, crying and being like, "What are you doing? Stop." It's so
cute.
good. And then there's an entire Easter egg timeline dedicated to making fun of people that did not like all the memes from the first game.
That's perfect.
Where they actually take forum posts about the first game and put it into the game as dialogue of the characters.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Guacamelee is on my list.
Guacamelee is fantastic. And the third game is the biggest surprise and was so damn good because it's a huge fake out in the terms of what the game's about versus what you think it is. And it's a game called The Messenger. Because when it first came out, it looked like it was an indie take on Ninja Gaiden and old school like NES side-scrolling games. But not only does the game have one of the most clever and fourth wall breaking senses of humor, and the writing is so sharp that I was not expecting that. But then halfway through the game, the entire genre switches on you, and it turns into a Metroidvania. And you're
I've seen this game kind of blow up on Twitter over the last couple of days.
It's so good. It's on everything. It's on Steam. It's on Switch, PS4, Xbox, whatever. I played it on the Switch just because it felt so good to have it on the go whenever.
Right.
But man, that twist was awesome. And also the big draw that got teased is that you switch the game between 8-bit and 16-bit. So the game switches. It's a time travel mechanic, but they show you traveling into the future by switching the entire aesthetic, music, and gameplay mechanics from Nintendo quality to Super Nintendo quality.
That's very clever. I like that.
It's so charming. I loved it. It was also pretty difficult, like to do all the secret stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good challenge in there. So yeah, I beat all 3 of those games this week, and it was fantastic.
Well, busy little bee you are.
Just in time for Spooderman.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about these honorable mentions.
Let's talk about these honorable mentions, Chris. Shall we?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So I'll just recap the last 10 on that from the actual list, and we'll go from number 36 was Dragon Quest VIII. By the way, if you're just catching up, we are going over. Oh, hold on, Kogasu, you're gonna friggin' love it. It's so good. I just 100%ed it. I got all the secrets. I unlocked everything. It was super awesome. And you know what's really annoying was the few times I got stuck and I tried to look it up on the internet. The game's name is awful for Google searches. Because you just type in the Messenger and all you get is things about actual apps and social media messenger apps and stuff. And nothing, there is nothing dedicated to this game yet. And it felt very old school where I had to eventually go back and figure it all out on my own. I couldn't rely on anything because there is nothing for it. There are no walkthroughs. There are no YouTube Let's Plays. It's crazy. However, I guess what I'm trying to say is, Kogasu, if you need help, I can help you. All right, 30. And for those that don't remember, what we are doing is going over the Reset Era's top 101 essential RPGs. Last week we got all the way to 25. Before we do the top 25, we're going to go over the honorable mentions, and next week we will knock out the finals. So 35 was Elder Scrolls Morrowind. 34 was Pokemon Red Blue. 33 was Final Fantasy VIII. 32 is Demon Souls. 31 was Final Fantasy 12. 30 was Dragon Age Origins. 29 was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. 28 was Final Fantasy 10. 27 was Undertale. 26 was Knights of the Old Republic. And 25 was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Okay.
So skipping all the way down to the honorable mentions, we have, all right, Alpha Protocol.
Wow, I did not expect that to be listed.
Alpha Protocol was one of those games that kind of came back and after enough time had passed has really developed a cult following.
It's interesting because it's I don't think on an RPG list kind of using spy stuff as RPG skill trees. It's kind of the only one that's ever done that, and it's mostly successful. I mean, the issues with the game are with
it's janky.
It's very jank. But I mean, I've played it twice. I had fun both times. But it is jank. And there's also a lot of branching paths. I don't even think I've done like 100% of it in my 2 playthroughs.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm just kind of stunned that it's even an honorable mention.
You know what's crazy is that the creators, Obsidian, recently tweeted, "How would you guys feel about an Alpha Protocol remaster?"
I mean, I'd play it. I'd play it again, but if you can remove some of that jank, Obsidian, which I know you're known for.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Next up, we have Baten Kaitos for the GameCube. You've never played it? Have you even heard of this one, Chris?
Yeah, I remember from my days in the long ago working at GameStop, but I wasn't aware it was an RPG. I thought it was like a horror game.
No, Baten Kaitos, I don't know if we're thinking about the same thing.
Maybe.
Definitely an anime-inspired RPG.
Okay. Was it any good?
It was pretty good. The sequel I didn't care for too much, but the GameCube was pretty starved for RPGs.
They had what? They had the Final Fantasy one. Was it Crystal Chronicles?
Crystal Chronicles. They had Skies of Arcadia, and they had like Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah, that's about it, huh?
Oh, Paper Mario. But for the most part, it still was, compared to the PS2, the GameCube had no RPGs. Relatively.
Yeah, well, Sony had the RPGs locked down for so long.
The next one, Breath of Fire 3.
This is on the Genesis, correct?
No. This was the first PS1 one.
Okay.
1 and 2 were on Super Nintendo. I don't think Genesis ever got a Breath of Fire.
Okay.
This one was real good. Although I never played 4. 3 was real good. I really enjoyed the cast of characters and everything on it. After that, Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, the first one for the PS2 and the last actual Breath of Fire game until they revived it as a mobile game. This one was weird. I didn't care for this one. They revamped the entire formula, removed everything that made it Breath of Fire. I really think they could have just called it anything else. But calling it Breath of Fire gave certain expectations that it just did not meet for me. I would not have had this on the list.
Okay.
After that, Diablo 3.
I like Diablo 3 a lot. I can understand why people don't care for it as much as 2. It's very much the World of Warification of Diablo. The loot system is out of control, just with the sheer amount of gear that drops. There's a lot of replayability to it, I think more than some of the others, but I can understand that, it had a rough, first 6 months or so of it.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly.
The auction house and everything was hating on it.
Yeah.
But they with Reaper of Souls, they really revamped and revitalized the entire game.
I think it being on Switch is going to kind of revitalize it again.
Oh yeah, it's going to bring it back for a whole another round. After that, we have Dragon Age Inquisition, which I think should definitely be in the main group. I really loved Inquisition.
I've never cared for any of the Dragon Age games.
That's fair. I really enjoyed it. Dragon Age Inquisition refined the battle system to feel really good, and combined Dragon Age Origins tactical pause menu with the console controls, and I just really enjoyed the story and the characters, and the cliffhanger reveal at the end with the true ending makes me sad that we've never gotten even an inkling of a new one. It was my game of the year that year. Wait, was it? No, that was the year Transistor came out. Transistor just eked it out. That was
I remember that.
Of the year. Next up, Etrian Odyssey 4. Etrian Odyssey, of course, being the handheld dungeon crawler RPG series that I guarantee you've never played.
I played the demo.
Really?
Yeah, I tried the demo, and it's not for me.
Nice.
But it must be popular to keep pumping out a new Etrian Odyssey seemingly every other year.
Oh yeah, it's got its audience because there literally is a new one every year, and now they're actually remaking the originals. They're like doing remasters of them. So it's crazy. After that, Gothic 2. Gothic is a franchise I've never really delved too much into. They're PC RPGs done, I believe, in like Baldur's Gate style or Diablo style. I don't know.
I've never heard of this, unfortunately.
I've never played the series before, so I can't comment on it, but good for it being making it. Next up is a game I think definitely should be on the list, and that's Grandia 2. Especially with Grandia 1 and 2 being packaged together and remastered for the Switch, that's going to be the perfect time for people to delve into these games. It was originally a Dreamcast game, then got put onto the PS2. It was one of the first action, like real-time battle system RPGs, like with the Tales games. Grandia was awesome. Everyone should play Grandia. Oh, Kogatsu loves Gothic. Tell us what it's like in the chat. Next up, Chris, we have Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, also known as the reason most people bought a PSP.
Yeah, it was this, and it was like what Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Like the PSP survived much longer in America than it normally would have because, like in Japan, it was Monster Hunter. No one cared about anything else. In America, it was because of Kingdom Hearts and Crisis Core.
Yeah, the PSP was such a weird system.
They weren't your normal bullshit spin-offs. These actually had a lot of meat to them. Birth by Sleep is the one that's introduced all the characters that are taken center stage in Part 3. So out of all the spin-off games, Birth by Sleep is the one that is the most important.
Well, let me ask you this. Is Birth by Sleep recount the events of the first game again?
In what way?
Like I know, what's the card game?
Oh, Chain of Olympus? No,
I
don't know.
I forget. It's the card game just does the first game again, but with card-based combat.
Yeah, no. This is a brand new game because it's a prequel. It takes place 1,000 years before Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the start. It's the creation of the Keyblades, the creation of the Nobodies, the start of the Keyblade War. It's everything that directly leads into all the other bullshit.
Exciting stuff.
Right? Also, the next up is another game I 100% would have in the final list, and that's Lost Odyssey.
I really like Lost Odyssey. I like what Lost Odyssey was trying to do on the 360 by being this big voice-acted RPG epic on a system that didn't really have a lot of RPGs. I mean, it was Blue Dragon, and I want to say there was a third one that I can't remember.
Yeah, it was it was Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey were the two by Mistwalker, and it was Microsoft's honest attempt to try and get the Japanese fan base.
Yeah, but I think it's really good. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of sad that it's a one-off and it's kind of dead. But I thought it was neat.
It really was. I loved it. It was one of the only RPGs on the console that I got all the achievements for because it was.
I watched you beat the final boss.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. Next up, we have Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, the DS game where you switch up between you got miniaturized and you're inside Bowser's body, and you play the other half of the game as Bowser.
There's something about those games that just don't work for me. Like I've never been interested in any of them.
Really? I really liked it.
I get it.
Whole series, they're just so charming and funny.
It's just something about them that just does not work for me. I guess it would depend on how much you care about Mario.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fur, Chris.
No, fur is murder.
After that, ironically enough, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. The one that started the entire handheld Mario and Luigi : something series. It's good stuff.
Okay.
It's the one that started it all. I really loved it. After that, a game that again should be on the list, higher up. I think like higher as in the higher numbers. Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch.
Oh yeah, the first Ni no Kuni is so delightful, and I can understand people being kind of swerved because it's kind of a weird Pokemon game.
Yeah,
but I think the other RPG elements in it are really good. I think it's very charming. I think the animation style kind of really set it apart because I think if it looked like everything else, we wouldn't be talking about it as fondly.
Agreed.
It's a bunch of anime bullshit, though. But
yeah, but it's Studio Ghibli anime bullshit,
and it's good.
That's a different level of anime bullshit.
It's very charming. It should be on the list.
I agree.
The main list.
After that, Pokemon Black and White. Sure.
I think I played. They all run together. I think I played this. Is there really? Let me ask you this objectively: is there enough difference between the games to justify having all of them on this list?
No. I feel like at this point it's just different people's favorite generations that they voted.
Because I've dabbled in Pokemon, and it doesn't seem super different. Like the play style is still the same. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the first true Switch one that comes out next year is going to be a lot revolutionary, I guess.
I guarantee you it's going to be a 10-hour tutorial.
Oh God, no.
You've got to catch them all
Don't
again.
put that juju on me. All right, next up is the one that breaks me and Kogasu's heart every time. Shining Force 2. This should 100% be on the list. Not only on the list, but you know what? That's a good point, Doug. It's Chris. It suffers from Madden syndrome. Pokemon. Yeah. But yeah, Shining Force 2 should be on the list. It should be top 20. I'd put it top 10. Yeah, it's the granddaddy of the strategy RPG genre. We wouldn't have Final Fantasy Tactics without Shining Force. It's one of the best games on the Genesis. The remake on Game Boy Advance of the first Shining Force is one of the best games on the handheld. The series is so good and so charming, and there's so many characters that everyone has their own favorites. Should be higher. Yeah, Kogasu's crying in chat. The follow-up, Shining Force 3 for the Sega Saturn. Another great game, but in America, we only got part 1 of a 3-part trilogy. There was Shining Force 3 Part 1, 2, and 3. So in America, we never got to finish the story. And then they, much like Panzer Dragoon Saga, they lost the source code and we'll never get any remakes or remasters or anything. So that's always fun.
That sucks.
To never know how it's going to go. After that, I know, Chris, I know your opinion on this.
Yeah.
But I think it should be on the list. Maybe bottom half, but it should be there. South Park: The Stick of Truth. Because whether or not you don't care about South Park, as an RPG, it was actually really solid. And then,
if I may, from what I've seen of it, it's a very solid RPG. You know, it does what it needs to do. It's a very good licensed game. Just putting all the South Park stuff in a little box on the side, it probably should be on the lower half of the list. I don't know. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't.
Right. That's all I'm saying. It belongs. After that, Star Ocean: The Second Story, the crown jewel of the Star Ocean franchise to me, on the original PlayStation. There was just that era of RPGs ditching turn-based mechanics to have real-time combat. Grandia, Tales, Star Ocean. They all did it so well with varying degrees of success.
Okay.
Next up, Suikoden 3, and followed by Suikoden 5. Suikoden 2 and 1 made the list. 3 and 5 did not. I know 4 was not very loved.
So why did 3 and 5 not make the list, in your opinion?
They're good, but there was just something lost after 2. Like, 2 was so good that it was hard for anything to recapture it. And the move from PS1 to PS2 in a full 3D RPG as opposed to the sprite-based top-down 2D one, I guess it just didn't carry over as well. And 5, I never even played 5. 1 through 4 were so daunting. And then 5, I believe, came out at 2006. It came out at a really bad time because that was when the next gen was starting and everything was fresh and new. And who had time for another 100-hour RPG?
Yeah, that was a bad time.
The PS2 was so lousy with fantastic RPGs that it was so difficult to do them all, unless that's all you played. But I also played action games and all these other genres that I had to pick and choose.
Exactly.
After that, we have Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, a spin-off sister franchise to the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky series. However, the Trails of Cold Steel series is being heralded as a modern classic franchise. Like it's up there as one of the most beloved, but it's still very niche. But it's gaining its popularity. It's gaining its followers. So expect to see more. Like Part 3 is about to come out soon. Then we have The Witcher, the OG Witcher.
Yeah, I can see why this one would be lower than, say, The Witcher 3 or Witcher 2.
Yeah, Witcher 2 we already talked about earlier on the list. We haven't gotten to Witcher 3 yet, but Witcher 1 was... You know, fun fact about Witcher 1, Chris? The reason I actually built my first computer was to play Witcher.
I seem to recall that, yeah.
I remember because our friend David Filati also built his computer designed around being able to play The Witcher. Because at the time, It was blowing everyone away. There was from this company we'd never heard of, CD Projekt Red. It was based on a Polish book series no one had heard of, but this game was looking so damn cool. I actually really liked the first one. It's probably my second favorite in the series. It goes
I guess
2.
I guess it's a good time to mention that Henry Cavill is
Yes,
Geralt.
he is. He is officially Geralt of Rivia, which he gets bonus points for me because he's an actual huge fan of the series and he personally campaigned to be Geralt.
Let's mention, most guys, they get big for Superman and then they kind of taper off. He's just remained huge.
What are you talking about, Chris? Ray Palmer.
Brandon Routh is a stick figure and always will be.
Brandon Routh is a delight, and you shut your mouth.
Yeah, he is a delight. He's not a good Superman, but he's a delight.
Next up, Chris, we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE, the Fire Emblem / Shin Megami Tensei weird ass hybrid RPG on the Wii U that no one played because it was an RPG on the Wii U.
Yep.
Much like every game on the Wii U, and until they remake it on the Switch, no one's gonna give a damn.
That's kind of true, yeah.
That's just the legacy of the Wii U library. It's is it good enough to get a Switch port? Then it'll become relevant and beloved. Until then, no one's going to remember it.
Exactly.
Finally, the very last runner-up is Ys, or YS. Never understood how to pronounce it. The Oath in Felghana. That's another very long-running RPG series. This was, I believe, one of the first on the PSP, which is where the series found its resurgence. The PSP was home to like 6 of the Ys games, and now they're bringing them all to PS4 and Switch. And they're all on Steam. Go try it out. Franchise is great.
The PlayStation was the predecessor of a great RPG machine.
Yes,
it
really was.
The Switch is now the premier RPG machine.
It's getting there. It's almost neck and neck with PlayStation, but PlayStation still has more. Case in point.
Yeah, the portability, I think, is what really elevates the Switch.
Now, apparently, Dragon Quest is rumored to be coming on the Switch in America soon, and by soon I mean probably sometime next year. So we'll see if there's going to be anything added to it to make it worth.
Would you double dip on Dragon Quest?
I mean, I can't really decide until I've played it.
Hmm.
But I know for a fact that it's going to take a performance hit and a graphical hit.
Sure.
That's just what happens.
It's just life.
Yeah. But no, Dragon Quest XI is fantastic. The Switch and the PS4 those two systems are the best for fans of indie games and RPGs and action games. Honestly, as long as you don't care about racing, you're kind of good with just those two.
Yeah.
But if you like racing games, you got to at least have a computer for Forza.
That's true.
Or an Xbox.
Well, the new one's coming soon.
Yep. This month. Forza Horizon 4. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. And next week we will finish the list with the top 25 RPGs. And with that, I think we're pretty much done for the week. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I have one more thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about games earlier.
Okay.
I also played a little bit of Graveyard Keeper.
Yeah, you've been being the worst graveyard keeper in the world.
I'm great. Shut up. The game is...
How many bodies have you forgotten?
Only 2. And I got back and I got them before they dropped below 50%. The only thing I'll say about it is it's very Stardew inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many systems to keep a hold of and keep track of. It's a little daunting.
Okay.
Also, you can't increase your stamina bar. And your stamina bar is very small. So if you spend a day cutting down trees, your day is over.
Okay.
So it's a little frustrating in that regard. But it's kind of quirky. And I do kind of really like it. It's just like everything is a goddamn chore. And that may or may not work for you, but it's on Game Pass, so check it out if you'd like.
Okay. Sounds good. I need to try Game Pass. Honestly, Chris, my Xbox One has not been turned on since I played Sea of Thieves once in March.
You should get a dust blower and blow it out and turn it on. Make sure
it hasn't been turned on yet.
Well, turn it on.
Well, for what?
I don't care. Turn it on.
You gonna buy me a month of Game Pass so I can try it out?
Fuck off. No. You can pay for your own Game Pass.
Well, that's the problem.
It's $10.
No. What I mean is, I'm not going to do it this month because between Spider-Man and Dragon Quest, that month would be over by the time I'd be ready to play anything on Game Pass.
Oh my god!
And you know what? Right after Dragon Quest and Spider-Man, you know what comes out the first week of October?
No, it does.
On my birthday?
No, I forgot. What's on your birthday?
Mega Man 11.
Oh, that's why I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't care, but for me, it's the greatest gift anyone could give. And then 3 days later, Assassin's Creed Odyssey comes out.
Oh, jeez, yeah. October sucks.
Oh, man, it's going to be... Here's the thing. If you don't care about huge competitive multiplayer shooters, the holiday's a lot better to manage. Because I don't have to care about Call of Duty. I don't have to care about Battlefield 5. I don't have to care about any of that stuff. I can just play my awesome games and hopefully have a fairly clear schedule by the time Red Dead Redemption hits in November.
Do you gut feeling? Are you feeling like Red Dead's going to keep your attention?
No, I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about that. Did you hear the report that at the GameStop Managers Conference, a bunch of GameStop managers fell asleep during the demo?
All right. Well, to be fair, we know a bunch of GameStop managers. Who knows what the fuck they were doing?
Right, I'm just saying, like, it's not a good time when your giant blowout demo for the GameStop people is putting them to sleep.
Oh,
hey, Doug,
the other guys just showed up.
Hey, Doug, we're about to...
All my light bulbs are out.
That's fine.
I'm a creepy horror character right now.
Your timing is atrocious.
We're about to end the show, but
yeah,
before we go, why don't you just start singing Bohemian Rhapsody?
I forgot how it starts.
It's fine, because that's exactly what the video starts off as, except there's not 4 of you, but we can Photoshop that.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, as we were saying about Red Dead, I had trouble getting into Red Dead 1. But, maybe this will be like Grand Theft Auto 5.
You mean Red Dead Revolver for the PS?
No one played Red Dead Revolver.
You mean one of the Capcom 5?
No one played Red Dead Revolver.
I played Red Dead Revolver.
You're a psychopath. Everyone knows you should have gotten Gun. That was the better game.
I did get Gun. That was one of the first games on the 360 I got.
Yeah, and it was cool.
It was. And then Red Dead Redemption came out and shat all over it.
Basically, yeah.
No one remembers Gun.
I think I'm the only one. Do I own a copy of Gun?
I do.
Well, yeah, you have a copy of everything.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I do not have a copy of Gun. Maybe I should rectify that.
You should.
It had what's his face, the Punisher, as the voice of the guy.
Gun for 360, right?
Yeah.
All right.
How much is it?
I'm looking it up right now for you. Gun for Xbox 360 on eBay is going for... Oh my god. The problem is the game has such a fucking generic name. It's bringing up everything. You can get it for anywhere between $6 to $12.
Is that complete in box?
Yes.
Okay.
But be careful when you type in Gun, you're going to get a lot of Top Gun for 360 and a lot of Cabela's Dangerous Hunts for some reason because it comes with a gun bundle.
Oh.
You know what? That's one of the best things about this generation that no one ever talks about is the death of the Cabela's series.
Wasn't one of the Cabela's games just complete bonkers?
Sure, I don't know.
I seem to recall hearing that one of them was just like hunting giant bears in the Arctic. Like Yetis. Well, that just goes to show it, however much cares about, don't call it a Gundle. Kogasu. Kogasu, please.
That's great. I'm going to use that from now on.
Doug, you missed a full night. Real quick, let me get your thoughts. Did you see the Captain Marvel pictures?
I saw the pictures. I was like looking at them right now. I'm strangely more excited about how good Jude Law looks as a pink Kree than I am about the Skrulls. I love the Skrulls, but They look a little bit like the Dark Elves. I'm okay with it. I just
You got a problem with Dark Elves?
I have a problem with the Thor: The Dark World Dark Elves because they sucked.
Yeah.
I know, right? Ugh.
Poor Christopher Eccleston.
And Thanos got to the chin first, so they had to have a different chin.
Their chin's a little sanded down.
Yeah, it's a little, and split down. There's a little bit of a cleft in it.
Yeah.
But I like. I just like.
Pat just said he feels like he's watching Saw.
I also think Brie looks amazing.
Yes.
She looks really, she looks really strong. You know, I didn't realize I hadn't seen her after probably doing a little bit of working out to be like a superhero person. She looks really good.
There was a photo of her and Annie from Community. What's her name? Alison Brie?
Alison Brie? Yeah.
They had a photo of both of them at the gym together. They're looking pretty good.
Well, is Alison Brie in this or something?
No, they were just working out together.
Well,
also, I love the caption of that.
Yeah.
That was
Alison Brie Larson?
Alison Brie Larson.
Because that might be the hottest thing you've just ever told me, Chris. I don't know what to do with that information.
Just bank it in tight.
I'm just gonna like it. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's it. Yeah, I think we're about done for the week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Doug, we just went over the honorable mentions of the top 101 RPGs. So next week
next week we'll hit the top 25 and we'll finally hammer it out.
All right, cool. Hopefully I'll have light bulbs by then, or a lamp of some sort.
That would be nice. Get a candle.
I'll light a candle. It'll be even creepier next time.
And then in the weeks after that, we'll be working on our own top whatever games list.
Yep, very excited.
Kind of the same way we did the Marvel movie list, where we write them out and we average them out. So we're working on that for October, I believe.
Yes, indeed. And then Chris and I will be doing a new update to our organic, ever-growing, changing Game of the Year list. Yep. Which, if you're not familiar with our method, as the year goes on, we'll add, if every game we've played gets added to a top 10, so the first 10 games we play become our default top 10 games of the year. And then as the year progresses and more games get played, we have to start making cuts until we end the year with our actual top 10 list. And it's always fascinating to see how the list evolves throughout the year.
Because I find with top 10 lists, they focus very much on the end of the year and not the beginning.
Yeah. And even then, it's cool to see what games you liked at the beginning of the year, but then they got pushed out for other games as the year progressed.
The real fun part is watching Matt make cuts, because he'll end up with 20 games, and I will end up with 11.
Yeah. Chris always ends up having a cut, but it's always way later than me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Doug.
And we'll
Thanks for coming, Doug.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right, bye, guys. See y'all next week.
Bye.